Katiana Moostoos-Lafferty Nitsi. I have my daughter here,
Layla,
and we're back at our happy place, and we're really excited to be back. It's a little colder. Can you notice what has been happening since leaves falling moon, since last moon, amiskwaciy? Have you noticed that most of the leaves are actually gone and we have more of this beautiful white stuff, the snow? So today I'm excited to join you and tell you more about what's happening in this area. Last month's land-based mission or challenge for you was that you would learn more about the bears, the bees, and some of the birds, more particularly the nests. So did you find more about any of those? And please continue to send me your pictures of all of the evidence that you're learning about. So some of the things that I noticed about amiskwaciy, or during this last moon, was that a lot of the leaves were starting to fall, and some trees were staying green, but a lot of the seed heads and flower, the petals were really hanging on. And just like those petals, I too am really clinging on to some of that warm weather. Like, I don't want to let go of warm weather. But
me too.
I know, and I think that there's things that we can do in the winter to make winter fun and enjoyable. And so some of the things you can do in the winter to make it more enjoyable would be like winter sports like hockey. Do you have any other ideas?
Probably like sledding or
skiing.
Yeah, skiing.
Yeah, or making snowmen.
Yeah, oh, and making a big, huge pile of snow.
Right.
Yeah.
I also noticed that a lot of the berries, drupes or berries, or the fleshy fruit from the trees are actually mostly gone now. And if you do see some, that's because some of the birds are saving them for some of the winter months. But we'll talk about that a little later. The other thing was the sounds of winter and the sounds of this time are so beautiful. And I'm gonna play you some sounds, and I actually wanna see if you can get some of these sounds right, okay? Are you ready? I also want to share with you some of the changes that we've noticed during this moon, and we want to show you some of what those photos look like. Okay friends, we are into a new moon. We have entered a new moon. And do you want to know what our new moon is? It's Iyikopiwipi. Iyikopiwipi. Yes, we're going to do it together. Ready?
Okay. Iyogi.
Piwi.
Piwi.
Bisim.
Pisim.
Iyogi. Piwi.
Piwi.
Bisim.
Pisim.
Iyikopiwipi.
Iyikopiwipi.
Whoa, that was awesome. Good Cree speaker here. So, you know what that translates to? It actually means frost moon. Frost, like everything's freezing around this time. And I want to show you some of the evidence of the things that are freezing.
I got a question.
What's that?
What is frost?
Frost is freezing. So soon these will all turn to frost, right?
Oh yeah.
Like a slushy. like a delicious slushy.
Slushies are cold.
And lots of First Nations people in this area, like Dene or Blackfoot, have different names for their moons. And some of my Blackfoot friends down south, they have names for their moons, and their moon for this time translates to when the rivers freeze. And have you ever really stopped to watch our sacred waters as they freeze during this time, during this moon? It's absolutely beautiful. I'm going to show you what that looks like. Do you remember last moon I was getting you to be curious about birds' nests, and I was curious about birds' nests too. But I started seeing a lot of nests, and then I found out from some of my friends in the Edmonton area, especially a lady named Manna who helped me. She said that you know, those are actually squirrel nests, and I want to show you what a squirrel nest looks like. During Iyikopiwipi, there's also a lot of squirrel activity, and all the squirrels are doing really fascinating things right now. And you know what they're starting to do? What? Gather all of their food. And you know what? They're really sneaky and funny because they like to gather all their food and they put it in secret places and they stash them away. And they call their little secret stashes caches. And that's where they hide all their food. And I want to show you what some of those caches look like from squirrels. Squirrels are really fascinating. Did you know that they're one of the very few animals that could sprint down a tree head first? Also, they're really, really organized, kind of like me. And they're also forgetful. They sometimes forget where they place some of their stashes or their caches. Oh. And they can also jump really, really high.
Just like this.
Woo! Okay, so we actually had to take a little bit of a break, and it's getting darker. So we're actually using a flashlight so you can see us better. But I wanted to talk more about some of the birds that stay and some of the birds that go. And some of the strong, resilient birds that like wintertime and want to stay here are the woodpeckers. And I was learning more about the black-backed woodpecker that are common in this area. But there's a lot of evidence of woodpeckers around us. First, you'll hear them, but also you'll see all the things that they're doing, and they like to create something in the trees that you may have seen before. What do they create in the trees? Large holes. Yes, so if you see holes in the tree, that's from the woodpecker. And just wait, one more thing. Other animals sometimes find places to stay in those holes. They like to hide in those holes too. The other thing that you'll see that is evidence of woodpeckers around is you'll see something on the trees, and I'll show you some pictures, but the woodpeckers like to peck, 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 peck at the tree bark, and I'll show you what that looks like. But what they're trying to do is they're trying to get underneath that bark where there's something hidden. What do you think's hiding behind that bark?
Insects.
Yes, food. They want food, and they want those insects inside the tree. So let me show you some pictures of what that looks like, and notice the tiny little holes you'll see in the tree as well. Here's your land-based challenge for this new moon, for Iyikopiwipi. So I would like you to find out more about chickadees, those cute little birds that make a beautiful song. Find out more about chickadees and why they're so special. The second thing I'd like you to find more about are woodpeckers, and what kind of species of woodpeckers are there, and how many different kinds of woodpeckers are there, and what do they look like? And then the third thing I'd like you to find more about is squirrels. How funny they are, how smart they are, and think about how squirrels like to, they like to gather all their food and get ready for the winter. If I was gonna gather a pile of food for the winter, I would probably gather a lot of pizza, maybe pierogies and poutine. What would you hide in your cache? Caches.
Candy and probably Lucky Charms, healthy foods, and some chocolate.
Oh, that would be a good stash for winter. Layla and I want to say thank you. Hi.
Hi.
For joining us for another great moon, the new moon, Iyikopiwipi. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to become better friends with the land. And so if we come to visit the land all the time, maybe the land will want to be good friends with us, and we'll build a good relationship together. So that's what Layla and I are trying to do, and we love that you join us, and we still want to see all of the pictures that you collect in your happy place. We love seeing those. So thank you for sending all of your stuff to me and Layla, and we hope you enjoy another moon. See you later.